Hey guys, it's Garvin again with another quick vlog. Only got a few minutes right now, but just wanted to kind of touch on some things that have been, passed around as far as like comments that we've received about what people are hoping for this week on Raw, or what people are hoping for, as we head towards Money in the Bank. And a lot of people are still like harping on. Like, they're still jumping back to the old bandwagon of, we need we need to make all of these changes, and the PG era sucks, and, wrestling will never be good again. All kinds of, the world is ending style drama, style negativity. And, it's just getting kind of tiring, but I wanted to take a moment and, we talked about this on the latest edition of Wrestling with Beer, and the last edition of Wrestling with Beer was this last Saturday, and we talked about the idea of the potential for WWE to go back to a 2-hour Raw, and whether or not that even made sense. And if they did go back to a 2-hour Raw, would that help the overall booking? Would it give would it give WWE a position where they would need to write better? And at the end of the day, like our answer was no. Going back to 2 hours isn't necessarily going to make WWE better, isn't going to make Raw better. What needs to change is we need to get back to what made the Attitude Era good. It's not necessarily the type of content. It's not necessarily the type of matches or blood. I mean, we can pinpoint things that we're all nostalgic about. But really, at the end of the day, what was good about the Attitude Era is it was aimed at one demographic, one group of people, which luckily, I at the time fell into. Joe fell into. A majority of us on the podcast fell into, outside of Nick and Lee because they're babies. But at the end of the day, that's what made the Attitude Era good, was that it focused on one type of person, one ideal, and that's all you got. You didn't get what we're getting now, which is everything for everyone. And that's something Vince Russo talked about in one of his latest interviews. And yeah, we like to harp on how Vince Russo is bad, and he's bad for business, and he really didn't do as much as some would like you to think. So I know we don't listen to Vince Russo a whole lot, but I think in this instance, he's exactly right. If you're focused on one specific type of programming, whether or not it's your kids' demographic or your family demographic, or just going at the adults, or going after the teens and early 20s, 30s, that sort of area, like the Attitude Era, that's when you can put all of your energy into one thing. That's what made the Attitude Era work, because they put all of that energy into that one that one jar, basically. Instead of what we're getting right now, which is a bunch of different jars and a little dips here and there of different types of, they're trying to be everything for everyone, and they will never be that. On the podcast, we always say, well, don't just look at the negatives. There are some positives, and we say that pretty much every week. And normally on the podcast, we only talk about what we liked, what really has our interests. But there there are too many problems with that. There are too many problems with that if all we're doing is focusing on 2 or 3 things and ignoring the 10 to 15 other things going on. That's really rose-colored glasses. That's ignoring the general era that we're in a grand scale. So yeah, if you want to change wrestling, if you want to change Raw and you want to make it better, it's not going back to 2 hours. It's not bringing blood back. It's not allowing swearing and hot chicks with bikinis or flashing in the case of the cat. It's not just allowing that stuff. It's picking a direction and going with it. And hopefully they do that. And hopefully that direction includes Dolph Ziggler doing something pretty slick, Damian Sandow, the guys that we generally like as the IWC, as everyone on the podcast, and as you guys, the listeners. We all know what we want, and hopefully WWE will choose us if they go and finally decide on a direction. So, anyways, that's it. Got nothing else. See you guys later.